this plant, let me just go back. Okay, now look at it even better here. Look at the balance here. It's balanced in such a way that it is not overwhelming the plant itself. Look at the small dots of the palm. It's balanced, and you will see how balance works even in graphic design. But this is according to a being. Even you as an individual, you are enjoying some sort of balance or the other. So as balance as one of the principles of design, you must understand that your mind must be balanced. Your mind must have the ability to be at rest for you to create. When you plant a plant, you will see that there's no noise when it's growing. After it's grown and you want to cut it down, by the time it's falling down, what will you have? A lot of noise. That is what most of us do. We have a lot of noise when we're falling down. We don't have noise when we're growing up. So when you're creating, you must see creation from your environment first before you can create in a better direction. So contrast, even as it applies to this particular plant, you can look at the light green at the top here. Look at the seed, light green. But the base here is dark brown. That's the contrast between this base and this place. If you understand this, when you get to your software like Photoshop, like Premiere, like all your editing software, you will be able to understand as it relates to your natural environment. This is part of history. So let's go further. So I showed you space already. Alignment. You can see that all of these dots, they are aligned. Everything is aligned. Look at this. It's aligned with that. It started with 3 at the top. Move, move, move. It's aligned in a way that it shows balance. It shows beauty. It shows contrast. That's as it applies to being. And I'm going to now go further to now show you the other stuff. So now you can see that from that plant, I now make emphasis on just the seed of it. And I'm planning now to turn it into a material, a design material for a tablecloth, for maybe even something like that, for a shot picker, and so on. So from there, you can see what I'm doing. I'm using repetition to repeat just the image. Now, when you do this type of design, you can take this into Photoshop and fine-tune it, the color and stuff. That is why design mind is ability to see originality in your environment. Design thinking is ability to use your software and your hardware to manipulate and beautify your design into a product and a service or service. So now you can see what I have there, and let me now go back. So let's go back to my drive. So what I want to do now is I want to let's go to my design principles. Okay, that's what we just did. Let's go back. So we'll go to I don't know why this thing is slow today. Okay, so let's go here. It's slow. So you can see this is a design now. We've moved from plant as a being now. We've moved from plant as a being to your software now, to image, to a digital device. Can you see that the background here, this white background, is more than every other thing? Because that is the space that is containing what? The content. The image of the phone, the text, they are all what? Content. If you have a video here, they are all content. But you see the background is the space. And you can see how this is done. I'm going to walk you through now. You can see here they have highlights. They focus on 3 colors. And when you focus on the 3 colors, it allows you, when you are designing on the digital space, try and stick with 2 colors maximum or 3 maximum. The 3rd color should help you highlight. If you want to point like, oh, maybe click here, this is where you should go to shop, or you are trying to get their attention for a particular purpose. But make sure that your background is 60% of the design. The remaining 30 will be the product, like this one. And then the text will just carry the remaining one. So now, look at this now. In this particular one now. Look at this one now. Can you see the product? The product is there. This product carries how many color? It's between the range of maximum of 2 to 3. Don't overwhelm your design. Don't overwhelm your customers. And remember, you are designing not just for yourself, you are designing for people. So you must put people in your mind when you are designing. Now look at this. Look at this one now, the rule of 10. That is what I've just showed you now. So you can see alignment. Right now, these boxes are scattered. It's not aligned. But once you put them back together like this, it is now aligned. This is alignment. So now, look, you can see that alignment right there. Can you see the background? So the background, this is your space here. When you put your content here, you must be able to understand that you cannot overwhelm that space. You must not overwhelm it. And remember this, the simpler, the better. The simpler, the better. And you see how that works. So let's go to the next one. So now we're going to legitimacy. So let's go here. So we have contrast. When you want to make it, you've seen the contrast as it relates to a plant. How does it work with your digital device, your software, or your image? Contrast now can give you legibility. And you can see there, we have 2 colors. We're going to focus on these 2 colors. Now, if you take these 2 colors now, can you see we've used the color now? The one color is for background. The other color is our text. But you see, it's taken away from the words. So make sure your text, you don't have a lot of colors within one small design. Keep it simple. The simpler the better. And the colors, there are not many. But even this particular color here, you can bring down the contrast. The contrast will make it either darker or what? Brighter. And watch what's going to happen to this now. When you bring down the contrast, this is what you're going to have. Can you see this now? Can you see how it is now? It is darker now. Compared to what? Compared to this. So that is contrast. Using contrast to get eligibility. So let's go back. So we're looking at how it relates to image. Now let's go to our logo. Your logo should be part of your brand. Your logo is not totally your brand. It should be part of your brand. But when you are dealing with logo, you must remember, when you are dealing with logo, you must remember, keep it simple, don't overwhelm yourself. Don't try and do something that will make people feel like your mind is complicated. And one powerful device we can look at is this. Can you see that? That is the Apple logo. It's just an apple, like a plant, like the palm I showed you. It came from what? The environment. This is one of the most powerful companies in the world. But they took their logo from where? From the environment. Because you're already using that. So they just migrated that environment to the digital platform to remind you of something you already love. That is the best way to create a logo. Something that people will remember without you being there for eternity. Once you say Apple now, it's either the one you eat or the one you use to design. Am I wrong? No. So you can see what they did here now. So look at this now. And look at in their design. When they took a part of this, they had the option of tilting it like this. But because of balance, they tilted it like this because they already have this. So that the eyes of the viewer will be concentrated on this bite. Can you see what I'm saying? So look at it now. They put the, look, can you see that? These are the little details as a designer you must, because the person designing this is thinking like the user. That is why we have UX design. What you call interactions. You understand? So you must look at that. See, they decided to tilt it this way so that the focus of the viewer will be here instead of this way. Now, this is relates to a symbol as a logo. So let's go to, now look at the phones now. just use a sim. Can you see how they're keeping it simple? They are not overwhelming themselves. They are looking into their environment for source. Look at Facebook. Facebook is just an F. Look at Facebook. Can you see that? Look at Instagram. They are keeping it simple. They are not overwhelming themselves. Now, let me just go back. Look at this now. The Apple logo was created from these two white dots. It was created from that. Look at this one now. Using text. If you want to use text to say, I want to use text as my logo, this guy is designing. But he's also manipulating it with design mind. Using design thinking. Once you start using your Photoshop, your software, your hardware, you are using design thinking. And he's going to manipulate this to give him the desired. Can you see how he's manipulating the color, the size, and everything? To give him what? Look at the final product. It's simple. And he's using one color, 3 letters. He's not using 500 grammar just for one. So when you are designing, the simpler, the better. Okay? And that's what you have there. So let's go back. So I'm going to stop this and then we'll move to the